Is there any photos that you've got already that you're really particularly proud of?
The one that I think if I had to pick a single picture, then it would be one of Belugas, which is a really simple picture. You've got a group of five belugas looking straight at us. It's a vertical picture, and the belugas are maybe 5 meters away, and they're just pure white against black water, and they're all more or less facing me, looking at me. And it won the underwater category in the Wildlife Photography of the Year competition a good few years ago. But it's special because you know yourself. You can remember every picture you ever took. You know how many thousands. You can always remember where you were when you took them. And that one was when I was up on Edge, Canadian Ice Edge. And the thing with beluga, you would stand on the ice edge and you could see the belugas blowing in the distance, and you just slip into the water quietly, and you didn't put a bottle on, just snorkel, just drift off the edge of the ice edge, and you could hear them. Belugas are really noisy underwater, chattering away to each other, so you'd hear them a long way before you saw them. But to get them to come close to you, the secret was they were very acoustically active. So the thing to do is to become an acoustic subject of curiosity. So you go out and you start humming down your snorkel, start humming a song or something, make something that's audible to them. And they would come in, look at you. And quite often they would come in, and the first you would see of them would be them underneath you. You're lying on the surface and you'd see them underneath. And remember how I said that whales can't see what's above them? So if they're underneath you, but they want to look up at you, they roll on their backs. So this picture is me lying at the surface, looking into the black water. It's a cloudy day, so there's no sunbeams going down. It's jet black water, but really clear. And these white belugas are underneath me. And they've come up behind me on the surface, and then they dive down. And when they're down underneath me, they roll on their backs so they can look up at me. And then they carry on up, heading towards surface in front of me. And as they go to this top, they roll back on the top so that the blowholes in the right place when they hit the surface. But the other thing with belugas is that belugas, I think, are the only whales which can move their necks. All other whales have got fused vertebrae in their necks. So most whales, if they pass something and they want to look back at it, they have to turn their whole body to turn. But belugas don't. Belugas can swim past you and look over their flipper, over their shoulder flipper, back at you in the distance. And I always remember, you can see one beluga, there's slight wrinkles in his neck, but it's just basically bending his neck to be able to see me better. But as they went past and looked up, I remember two of these belugas twisting their neck to look at me. So that's a picture that has all sorts of memories in it for me. The way it was taken, the day it was taken was exceptional clear visibility. I was the only person on the ice edge, and it was a bunch just came around and they gave me a couple of swim bys, but the first one was the best. It was shot on film. It was shot a long time ago, this thing. So really, it's also got them in a nice position. And when you're shooting without a motor drive and you got one chance to click the trigger, so I got it just the right time and the exposure's perfect, no the rest of it. So it's a kind of special picture. It sums up the Arctic and these white ghosts that live up there. So I'd pick that one.
Yeah, and that's the art of photography, isn't it? It's like you look at a photo and you're reminded of the day or the months that you spent trying to get that photo with the people that you were surrounded with, who you loved to pieces because you were a team. And that is what people, I think, from the outside looking in at photographers don't understand, that there's so much more to the photo than just the image that they see. There's the hundreds of hours of work that have gone into getting that picture, right?
Well, there's also the engagement with the environment. That's why when people say, even when you explain that you sit on a hillside sometimes and see nothing, don't you get bored with that? And you explain, well, you don't get bored. You don't get bored because all the time that you spend in that environment, you're just soaking up little cues and little sensitivity to the light and what's going on round about you. And eventually when you press the trigger, you get this immense, lovely mix of satisfaction, privilege, and the fact that you have got something that few other people have got. Even the people who are with you will have chosen a slightly different lens or a wee bit of a different composition, but won't quite have got you. And so every picture becomes, or every special picture is special for many different reasons. And as I say, what I've always felt about the polar regions is the immense sense of privilege of being able to go there at a time when they were less visited and in a way very, very special, very, very special. But also, I was confident, when I met David in 1981 with his small film crew, I had already spent 3 winters in the Antarctic with 12 other men for 9 months. There was 16 one year, and there was 12 the other years. And so I knew all about the dynamics of small groups and how good it could be. And so meeting David with his producer, sound man, cameraman, and David, and seeing how they got on, it was just a natural, it was just so obvious that I was going to enjoy working in those small groups. It probably didn't occur to me at the time, but it definitely did impress me later on. I do like working in small, with small people. I'm very happy. I'm also happy on my own to spend time with as few people as possible. Certainly, it's going to sound selfish, but in the water with marine mammals, it's actually better to be on your own, or in the company of an animal that can see you, because you know that it's how you behave that's going to have a great amount to bear on what you get from that animal. And basically, 2 people in the water, unless you're both tuned into each other and know that you can trust the other, there's always that feeling of, there are 2 people, twice the disturbance, so therefore maybe this other guy's not quite giving off the vibes that I am. So I'd really rather be in this scenario on my own. But on the other hand, there is nothing like sharing an experience with someone. It is special when you're doing something with other people. I mean, I guess that's the basis of relationships in life, is because you're looking for, to share those experiences with someone.
Yeah, and experiences are nothing unless they're shared, because you need to share them with someone in order to feel the happiness, to feel that way, don't you?